Hola from the west side. It's me, DC the Purple Diva, and it is time for Not So Random Chat. So go grab your coffee, your tea, or whatever your libation is tonight, and let's start to talk about whatever we want to. I'll be right with you guys. Ooh, 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 Hola from the west side. West side. It is me, DC, the Purple Diva. Happy Monday, y'all. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Hope everybody is getting ready for the 4th of July. If you celebrate it, coming up this weekend, coming up. And, I know for those of us who are melanated folk here in this country, many of us celebrate Juneteenth, and we celebrated that a couple of weeks ago, and that is our day. But don't get it twisted. We are Americans, just like everybody else here. So July the 4th is also our Independence Day because it's the independence of our country. Juneteenth is the Independence Day of our people. Okay, so 2 different days, in my opinion, and celebrated for 2 very different reasons. So I hope the notifications went out, because what I have found, just listening to people that I know and who actually bother to read the stuff, when I'm posting this on my community tab, if I've posted something earlier that day, nobody's going to see it. They're not going to see it for like 3 days. And 3 days is far out in the future as far as it goes to views. So I'm just going to have to pray that I put out my notification fast enough, and that those who are subscribed to my channel come through and take a listen, either tonight or tomorrow. That's what I got to start hoping, because it's a waste of my time putting stuff out on the community tab if you're not going to see it for 3 days. And I know that because I put something out today, so I know what I put out today got seen, which means if I put anything else out on my community tab for the next 2 days, nobody gonna see it for a couple more days. So, I'm gonna save my, community tab posting for things that are important. Like showing y'all that little dress I had on earlier. And I actually will be posting the Amazon Prime haul that dress is in later on this week. And let me just be vain for just 1 second here, and just say that I'm proud of the fact that my stomach is on flat, and has been before the world shut down, and still is after the world shut down. Because, I don't know, for me, all the weight that I gained did not go there. Now, I got to get, it defined again, but it's still flat. No fupa. You know what? As a matter of fact, I've never had a fupa. I've never had one. Even after I had my son 20 something years ago, and my son's was a 10-pound baby, and I did not have a C-section. But after I had him, I was smaller after having him than I was before. And I never had a stomach. But it could be because I was working out. You know, I mean, I'm one of those people who was in the gym all the time, was working out. I was always trying to eat right, kind of, sort of. You know, I cheat every once in a while, eat what I want, but I ate basically what I want. But, you know, I ate what I want, but didn't eat too much of anything, if you get my drift. So I was working out until I was like 8 months pregnant. I was also roller skating until I was 8 months pregnant. And so I think that's why my body just snapped back. So fortunate, you know. Sometimes, you know, I got a black woman's hips, but I'm still a skinny girl. Anyway, moving on. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Things are really starting to open back up here in California. You know, I'm trying to get used to it. But I'm excited that, you know, I'll get to go out to some stuff and give some content that's more vlog-like, you know, like life stuff, because there'll be some life stuff happening again. Because what I noticed is that before the pandemic, I would do enough vlogging that was not at home. You know, I gave you guys, you know, some live content, and then 2020 hit and the world locked down and life locked down. So there was no like outdoor content to have, like going to concerts, you know, but hopefully that has changed, you guys. I'm hoping that has changed. Whew, I'm going to have to fan myself with this big fan. Let me do this. Yeah, the big fan. I always like everybody else doing that with their fans. You can hear it in the mic. I'm like, let me do mine like that, because I have one of these big, huge fans, you know, because as a woman who has quote unquote hit that wall. Hey, Heavy on the Chai. How are you? Welcome to the chat. Wait 1 second, guys. Someone's at the door. I'm going to put y'all on mute. All right, I'm back, guys. I am back. Let me turn this thing off because the battery is low on the, what do they call this? On this little speaker thingy. So I'm going to turn it off so you guys don't have to hear the woman.
Battery is low. Please recharge in time.
With the Japanese accent. Too late. Y'all heard her. Or it could be a Chinese accent. I don't know. Since we seem to import everything from one of the two, or Korea or Vietnam, you know, make your pick when it comes to electronics. But what I was saying is that, you know, as a woman of a certain age, yeah, I get hot sometimes. So I'm just gonna fan myself until I feel better. And it's not even hot in here, so I know it's just me. I know I'm having a personal summer. But you know what? I'm good, because I'm gonna still say I look good for my age. And there's a whole lot of women who wish they looked like I look that are not even my age. So I'm blessed. I am blessed. I am blessed. But yeah, I'm gonna put out actually 2 videos. The Coffee Talk series will be up tomorrow. I got in my head this weekend and changed it, so I have to reload it. I'm glad I had it in up unlisted, you know, and hadn't pulled the trigger. I just have to pull the trigger. My issue is that I forgot to actually put a slide in there, and in the end, never mind. The slide ended up not even being in there, so it was just me getting in my head. But anyway, that will be up probably, should be posted tomorrow so that people can see it on public. And then the Prime Days haul will be up either Wednesday or Thursday. I want to give enough time for people to you know, have time to have come back and look at this live stream and have time to look at the Coffee Talk before I hit them with another video. I know a lot of people are like putting out stuff daily, but I want to put out quality. And I don't want to be regurgitating stuff that other people said. I want to put out my own thoughts. And it takes time to edit those videos. And I'm a perfectionist. Let's just say that. I have a type A personality. This weekend, instead of resting and relaxing, I worked. So I haven't even been on YouTube over the weekend, probably maybe a little bit. I might have seen a little bit, but I didn't see much. So I got to catch up. But one of the things that I am seeing that is just crazy to me, that it just won't go away, and it seems to be restricted to YouTube, is the animosity between brothers and sisters in a real way. And the animosity that I'm seeing seems to, in my opinion, from what I'm seeing, be going against sisters, whether they're divested or not, whether they swirl or not. And I've seen people bring up some very, very good points as to why do black men compete with black women when they should be competing with other men. I'm gonna let that one marinate for a minute. It's very good, it's a valid question. And I know it's been posed multiple times on multiple panels across Black YouTube. Question is never answered. It's always gaslighted and avoid it. They just don't answer. And I think that's part of the issue as to why there's so much animosity. Because see, here's the thing. according to society, this is all I'm going to say. According to society, both black men and black women are last to be picked. Yet and still, these brothers, and I'm just talking about on this platform because, you know, we say this is not real life, seem to have so much animosity towards the women on the platform, be they content creators or just subscribers. But on the other hand, you have hey DOD, you have some sisters, not all, you just have some sisters who jump up on panels with this type of individual and allow themselves to be disrespected. Or in the other cases, it's their channel and these men jump up on their panel and disrespect them. Jump up on their panel and disrespect them. And speaking of women being disrespected, shouts out to Sister Queen Mayat for being so classy when her panel got disrupted by RBR. And she was talking about, you know, a specific topic. Now, here's the thing. You know, Queen Mayat has a specific point of view. And if it rubs you that wrong, don't go to her channel. If you're just going to go there and get mad and get up on her panel and disrespect her. You know? Now, a sister is allowed to change her mind. Because at a point in the past, her talking points and how she was talking was probably more pro-black than where her talking points are now. I think she's probably more conservative in her talking points. I think she's probably, at least this is just from what I see, and this is just my opinion. I think that she's probably more, you know, pro-Trump and, you know, some other things that rub a lot of people the wrong way. But she's not the only black person on content creator on this platform, you know, that is a Trump supporter or is a Republican. People are entitled to their own political opinion. But I think that, you know, if your opinion is different from the channel holder, please don't get up there and say F them and call them out of their name. Unfortunately, she had to end that chat. Either that or YouTube ended it because she started having issues. No, she's more pro money. Well, that would be conservative, you know, that would be like kind of Republican like. But anyway, the whole conversation was supposed to be about two black women who are polar opposites in their opinions. And that would be Candace Owens, and then the other one is, her last name is Klasick or Kasich or something, or Clearsick or something. Klasick is her last name, and she's a representative in Baltimore. Let me look and see what the woman's name is. You see how interested. I don't know that much about her, but anyway, she has a definingly different opinion from Candace Owens. Kimberly Casey. That's her. That's what the chick is, and she's as I said, representative in Baltimore. And the conversation was about their opposing views and their opposing comments. And so somehow, because y'all know how RBR is, it became an African history lesson, because that's where he took it, because of something that someone else up on the panel said. They both kind of, in my opinion, derailed the entire conversation, because they began talking about whether the Egyptians were black or not. Like, what the heck did that have to do with what Queen wanted you guys to talk about? Excuse me. Let me take a sip of water. So, on YouTube, you make more money talking down on black people. Well, that's a shame. I guess I'll never make money on here, because I'm not going to talk down on black people. Now, I may talk down on some specific people who happen to be black, but as a whole, why would I do something crazy like that? You know, in my opinion, that's part of the go along, get along game. Shouts out to Kwame for that one. And it's also coonery. But, I think I'm probably too rebellious and revolutionary for that to be ever on here doing that. Now, I may talk about the people who are fake and foolish out here talking just nonsense. But no. So one of the prime examples, I guess, would be a conversation around swirling, where one of the female content creators, Cynthia G, shouts out, because, I don't really, agree with everything that she says, but the talking points in this particular one were on point. And wait 1 second, you guys. I gotta plug my phone back in because it is about to die. Okay, phone's plugged back in. So the Pink Pill actually replayed this on her channel with obviously Cynthia G's permission. And the whole conversation was around a gentleman said that black women had no other options other than black men because nobody else wants them. Not the truth. And I'm not one of those women that's into other races either. But Cynthia G kind of, threw at him his own talking points, and she said the same question. Why are black men competing with black women? When statistically we're both in the same position. According to society, nobody wants either one of us. Okay? According to society. That's not the reality, but that's what they want you to believe. And again, in this conversation, you just saw how this particular group, because it's not all of the black men on this platform, let's be clear about that, but this particular subset on here which I'm sure is a subset within the quote unquote Black manosphere, how they seem to have a hatred towards Black women. They talk about, you know, our looks. They talk about our body sizes and all of this other stuff. It's like, if you, so why are you mad that somebody else wants us? And then one of the other points that was brought up by the pink pill is that these men seem to be hard pressed going after these women in the swirling divested community that don't want them. They're all in their DMs and in their inboxes. But the women who are interested in them, they won't get the time of day as far as Black women are concerned. They only want the Black women that don't want them, which makes a perfect sense. You know, makes perfect sense. You know, because, you know, they see themselves in a different light than is what is the actual reality of who they are. Let me see what you're saying. I know. I agree with you in regards to sin. Yeah, and I know you and Queen might know each other from Twitter. It's sad though that you know, people make money talking bad about their own people on here. It's truly sad. And there's got to be something that we can do to change that, because that should not be the way to make money on here. That should not be the way to make money on here. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Maybe that's why, you know, I mean, I don't. Okay, maybe it works in certain parts of YouTube, but like those folk over in the B sector, in my opinion, I don't think that's the kind of money that YouTube wants. And I certainly don't think that a lot of that content is ad friendly. And why would content that's talking bad about Black people be ad friendly? You have to wonder about that. What kind of message is that sending? What kind of message is that sending? Well, you know, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and take my content, continue in the directions that I'm going in. I'm not on here for the negativity. I'm not, you know, there's a whole lot of stuff that I could be on here doing all the negative stuff, but that's not how I feel in my heart. You know, I don't feel that way about our people. So why would I do some stupid ish like that? I don't feel that way about our people. You know? You know, one of the things that, you know, Queen Mott talked about, and I've heard other people say this, talk about that we were better off when we were segregated, that Black people were better off when we were segregated. When we were segregated, we were forced to be business owners. And once we desegregated, we now are no longer the owners of businesses, but the consumers of business. And to a certain extent, that may be true, but I cannot, in my heart, feel that we're better. We were better off as a whole when we were segregated, when, you know, Jim Crow laws existed. even though I know some of them are technically still on the books. Let me see what you guys are saying. I know. Not a good look. Yeah. TS and KS, those two are, and the other ones in the middle of that are they're all bitter men. They're all bitter. Clearly, they've all had bad experiences, and a few of them, as we know, do not have a very good relationship with their mothers. Who is the first Black woman? Just like in my spoken word, I talked about the fact that fathers are the first man that a woman will know. Well, a mother is the first woman that a man will know. And if a mother ain't ish, it can definitely affect how they see women. Sorry. We were better segregated? I don't think so. But then again, we wouldn't know because we weren't alive when the country was segregated. We weren't here. We don't even know we don't know. So we are people who didn't even exist when segregation was around, making that judgment call. I just don't think I could live in a world. I wouldn't want to live in a country where whites own blacks only, which would mean everybody but us can be displaced. We're the only ones. We will be the only ones who will be segregated. I don't think so. So that's my opinion, and just based on the stuff that I know from my own parents who grew up in the South. I don't think I would want to live in the segregated South. I don't think I would want to live in other parts of the country. I mean, could y'all imagine? Can y'all imagine? Think about it. There was a point in time back in the 50s where a place like the city of Compton was white only, and they had laws that were in the kind of the I don't know why I'm blanking on this because this is my field, real estate. But they had certain things that would be written into the titles about certain ethnicities not being able to live there. I've seen them in some titles that, from the old titles. They're no longer active, but, you still see them from time to time. And yes, the people who integrated areas like Compton, California, and I'll even say the southern part of Maryland, right outside of DC, had to deal with ish. When my parents moved and bought a house, they bought a house in Maryland. And the neighborhood that we lived in originally, there were very few Black people that lived there in the 70s. Now, fast forward to 2020, 2021, that neighborhood is pretty much all Black now. very few people who are not Black live in that area. But in the 70s, the KKK was alive and well in Southern Maryland. And they probably still are, just not so openly. So it was nothing to hear about people having crosses burnt on their, in front of their homes in the 80s. They weren't taken too kindly. So, of course, what happened is that when the Black people moved into the suburbs, close to the city, the other people moved back into the city. So now the city that, is known as the Chocolate City, that used to be about 75% Black, is about 50-50 now. Still a lot of Black people there, but, a lot of the properties that were in the Capitol Hill area were Black owned, and a lot of those Black people sold those homes, and then they turned those row homes into like 2 units. I'm talking about properties that are literally walking distance to Union Station, which is more than Union Station now. So, that's part of the things that have come from integration. And I'm not saying, to me, that's not negative. The Black people in DC, a lot of them decided to move to the suburbs because there were better schools there for their kids. I told y'all how much the DC public schools sucked when I was growing up. And from what I understand, overall, some of them have changed and are much, much better. You've got schools like Dunbar High School where they've got almost 100%, acceptance and going to college. But still, overall, DC public schools are not like the best in the country. They're not. And who mainly went to the DC public schools? People that look like me. And who went to the private schools? People that didn't look like me, except for the Catholic schools. Catholic schools was the Black people in DC's private school, because when I was growing up, they were still affordable. Now, if you go to a Catholic school, you're paying a college tuition. They're just as expensive. But yeah, the talking about Black people, talking bad about Black women, I'm like, you have to wonder, what is the real agenda behind making that kind of content blow up? What's the agenda behind that kind of content blowing up? Do they think that by these people having these kind of talking points that it's going to filter out into the real world? Because that's not the real world. Nobody cares what a TS or a KS are saying. They're still just people on YouTube. The money and the destruction of the Black community. Well, yeah, BLM is doing that as well, but people don't want to talk about that. People don't want to talk about that. And that's very interesting, because even the stuff that you're talking about is it's like a disease across all the different sectors within Black YouTube. As a matter of fact, I mean, even in the beef sector, most of the beefs are dealing with tearing down, women, even if it's women tearing down each other. The Black sector, same thing. The conscious community, same thing. Maybe the only sector that's within the Black sector that doesn't happen is, I don't know, the gaming part. The gaming nerds. That truly is a sad thing that, people get a microphone in front of themselves and just start spewing a bunch of BS. Regurgitating it, putting a fancy bow on it, putting a suit on it, putting a mellow atmosphere behind it, while you're sitting there with a smile on your face, saying crazy things about and to Black women. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's true. The mukbang channels are they don't get in the mess. They're too busy eating. And eating makes most people happy. And happy people generally don't get in beefs. The endorphins, Probably the ASMR community too. Them too. And the crafting community within the Black community, because you've got people who do crafting, and you have artists. Yeah, they don't get involved in this stuff. That kind of stuff. They'll tell you if your work sucks, and it's hard to penetrate. Although I do artwork and everything, I know from other artists that I'm in the community with that have told me certain channels just to stay away from, because those people are, certain people are just kind of on some other stuff. But, outside of when we had that situation between B Love and one of the other mukbang channels that was saying all kinds of crazy stuff about how they got treated when they collaborated with her, there really hasn't been any issues going on over in the mukbang community. And that was like several years ago. Hey, Six Figures. Hey, Terry. Yeah. That's what you guys were saying. So yeah, the mukbang, they pretty much stay out of the mess. And I mean, then you have, content creators here who are strictly here to put out their content, network with other content creators, support other content creators. We stay out of the mess too. We don't get in the middle of that. I'm not going to get, like I said, I'm not going to get on here and, say a whole bunch of negative stuff about my people. My people may do some dumb stuff, but they're still my people. Okay? Can't give up on the ADOS yet, What you gonna do? Because I've seen and this is just, from what I've seen, it's not that easy for us if we choose to give up on this country and go over to the continent. There's a couple of countries that it's getting a little easier, but for the most part, it's hard, especially if you're thinking you can go someplace like Nigeria, like Lagos and stuff. Expensive. But I know that some people who leave this country and go to the continent are not going there because they've given up. Some people are going there to share the knowledge that they've gotten here, and they want to give that same knowledge or share those resources, such as their intellectual knowledge, on the continent. So I understand that. But then you have some people who, are just F the United States, and they out of here. Deuces. So you've got that sector too. But the folk that are on here and just talking, if you're gonna talk bad about our people, do you have solutions? Do you have solutions, to counteract everything that you're saying? You know what I mean? Because if all you're just going to do is just talk about all the negativity or everything that's bad about Black people, or everything that you disagree with in our thought process, like if you disagree with, people who want reparations, if you disagree with people who are of the thought that the man is always on them, what's your solutions to change their thought process to your thought process? Instead of, just telling them how dumb and ignorant they are. Because that's a lot of what you hear. And it's like sometimes you just have to grab the seeds, and spit, grab the melon, the good portions of the melon, and just spit out the seeds. Thank you, DOD. Yes, please smash the like button, you guys. I am on StreamYard, so I can't see, but please smash that like button. I appreciate it. It helps me in the algorithm. Have you guys noticed that YouTube is doing something different? Where if you schedule your stuff out way in advance, that you'll start to come up in people's recommendations days in advance of your stuff? Because I'm starting to see, like, some of you guys and some of the other content creators, I'll see their stuff, hitting days ahead. So I thank you for putting that stuff out there days ahead of time and not being like me and posting an hour before I go live. But, the thing is that I have it set that I'm going to go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I'm not going to schedule a million of those out. At least not right now. I probably should, because that would force me, to be on time. But like tonight, I came on earlier. I decided I didn't want to wait until 9:30. I'd get on here earlier. So we, be done earlier. And I'm thinking that I'm going to probably have to, like I said, start doing some lives that are during the day. So I might decide to do a weekend live, and then maybe I'll cut out one of my weekday lives. Switch one of them, like maybe the Monday or the Friday. The Wednesday one, it's right in the middle of the week. But one of them and put it during the daytime on the weekend. It's a thought. It's a thought, because then more people are around. I'm on the West Coast, and so it's not as late for the East Coast folk. But I appreciate those of you who are on the East Coast who come through. I appreciate it. Several of my mods are on the East Coast, but they're night owls and they're always up in the middle of the freaking night, especially on Friday. On Friday, it doesn't even matter, because there's lives going on all night long, at all times on the weekends. They're also recommending after stream ends. Yeah, I'm seeing that too. I know it's on me, DOD. All I have to do is flip the button. That's how bad, and I was supposed to do it this weekend, but I instead was working all weekend. My other job, I wasn't working on my YouTube like I should have been. Yeah, maybe I'll work on that after I get off of here, because I just have to upload the little emoji thingies, the little sticker thingies that go by the memberships. So maybe I'll do that, because I swear I think YouTube thinks I think they locked my membership in, so I can't change anything other than I can just flip the button. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. I know it's on me. That's revenue that I am depriving myself of, because I know that there are people who would be members. So that's on me. I appreciate you for being on me about that, DLD, because that means that I'm taking food out of my own mouth. But actually, it just would be things that help to make the channel better. I got to get my merchandise up. I got to do all of this stuff, you guys, because this is a business. And I have to get with my boy, brother Darren. It's totally on me. He's been willing to help me with some stuff. And he's so busy, I just, I don't want to impose, but I guess I need to. I guess I need to, because he, he has some ideas based on some things that I had told him that he was going to help me with. So I just need to do those things, because, I just need to get together. I need to get it together. Because I need to make sure that I keep a monetized channel, y'all. Gosh. People's channels are being demonetized left and right for various reasons. So I don't want to give them any reasons to demonetize mine. Shh. Y'all know how hard I work? How hard I work to get those watch hours? I know, Terry. It's not him, it's me. So, but, a lot of times we're in our own way. So I know that right now I'm in my own way. I'm in my own way. I need to start doing certain things differently to get the outcome that I want. And I just got to figure out how to get the people to see my content, because I know I got good content. but I have to get more people to see the content. Because see, I'm not even here trying to, be this huge YouTuber or anything. I'm putting out good content. I'm really putting out good information, especially in regards to autism. And I don't think my commentary on the different Coffee Talk series are bad either. So I just am trying to grow my audience. And I am doing, I keep slacking on certain things that I'm supposed to be doing. So again, it's on me. It's on me, y'all. Let me see. Where is my fan? All right, I'm about to come on camera, you guys, because I know it's almost an hour. So let me get that. That's me. Come on camera. Hey guys. How y'all doing? So yeah. This is the dress that you guys saw in the post. Well, if you saw on my community tab earlier today. And it will be in the Amazon Prime haul video that will be out later this week. Y'all see? I told you I'm fanning. It's not hot in here. It's just me. I think it's because, I have these lights on over me. But if I didn't have the lights on, then it would be dark in here. So I got to fan myself for a minute. I think I still have a little bit of my ginger root beer. This is the Australian one. So because they're not advertising on my channel, but it's called Brandenburg. And it's ginger beer. Not ginger ale, but ginger beer. Which means it's fermented for longer. But there's no alcohol in it. Just ginger. Just ginger. So you guys are going to have to hold me accountable. I have got to get my membership up and running this week. I have to do the video for my membership at some point this week. Y'all, I am seriously like, whew, I'm so shiny now. I'm just glowing all over the place. And it's not hot in here, so it's got to be, it's a personal summer. Just mine. Okay, but y'all hold me accountable to that. DLD, hold me accountable. All right, you guys, I'm going to get out of here. I know it's a few minutes early. David is wherever David is. He's not down here right now. And he'll just have to miss this. But I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Until then, I offer you guys peace and blessings from the West Side. I'll see you guys.